Hi boys and girls, it's so lovely to have you here. You at home and you guys still sitting up so beautifully and being wonderful children. So that's what we want. And you children at home, I hope you've been looking at flowers like we have been at preschool. But first of all, we're going to sing our special Marianne song.
Morena.
Morena, 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 Koto, that's to you. Morena, Morena, Pete Pene Akwe. Hands up. Tena koe, hello to I. Tena korua, hello to lovely. Tena koe, hello to all. Hi everyone. Welcome everyone. Come on, shoot. What an enthusiastic welcome. Love it.
I was going to say, should we sing the preschool song?
We need to, and I know you guys at home know this, so you can join in too.
Sounds good.
Oh, our preschool is a happy place to be. Yee-haw! Yes, our preschool is great fun for you and me. Yee-haw! We are laughing, we are sharing, we are learning, we are caring at Golf Harbour. Preschool is just fun to be. Yee-haw! Singing yippee, yippee, yay. Yee-haw! Singing yippee, yippee, yay. Singing well done. It's
So exciting to sing that song, isn't it?
It is.
Thanks, sis.
Happy.
Very happy. Now, I just want to have a little talk to you. One of our special preschool children, Nace, has been working very hard at her house, and she's been studying growing along with us. And they've got a wonderful plant, it's called a monstera, and I talked to Lynda, we used to call them fruit salad plants, didn't we?
We had a big one at our house when I was a little girl,
Yeah.
your age.
Me too. We had a big fruit salad plant. Now they're very trendy to have monstera plants.
Beautiful.
Everybody should have one, as well as a snake plant, I hear. That's what's new right now. But this monstera plant that Nace has got, they've been busy because they've been watching it grow, and every single day they're taking photographs. So they've got the photograph on day 1, day 2, day 3, and they're slowly seeing what's happening. They're seeing the little roots and the little shoots and the leaves, and taking that photo every day. And I heard today they're going to make it into a big long movie.
How
A video.
exciting. And what's happening when they take the photographs, Marianne?
Well, it's slowly growing.
And I don't think it's just the leaf coming out. I think
Oh,
it's
no.
like something else.
Are you talking about the little shoots and the
I
roots?
think it might be. I think it might, because when I looked, I saw this little round thing, oval thing coming down there. It grew and grew, and it's growing bigger.
I know. And then when the leaves come out, they're all tight like this, and then they unfurl like that. It's just so beautiful. So won't it be neat to see that video of watching what happens every day to their
And
monstera?
every day on a Monday, I wonder if you people can help us. On a Monday,
Monday.
they take a photo.
And a
Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, and a Friday.
And on Saturday and Sunday. We're taking one every day.
That is so wonderful.
What about our song, Lynda?
I think it would.
Should we do
I
that?
think it's a good introduction.
Absolutely. Now this one teaches us all about the days of the week.
Good.
And it's about them growing.
And that little plant of Anasis is growing every Monday, every
So this
Tuesday.
is a song especially for Anace's little plant that lives on their table.
I'm growing, growing every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And it just doesn't stop because it's having a rest of the weekend. It
Oh no,
keeps growing.
keeps on growing, just like me and you.
Absolutely.
Boys and girls, I have got for you this beautiful little flower. I wonder if anyone knows what kind of flower this is. Looks like a pewter cow, doesn't it? Do you think it might be a...
Lynda got it
A
from
bit
the
like
lady
a
next
Boots
door.
Cow.
It's a little bit like, it is exactly like a Boots Cow actually, but it's a mini, it's called a dwarf one, and these one grow in a lovely place that is so beautiful called Hawaii.
Wow.
So it's very miniature, and which means that it's little, like a mini.
And that is which one? Don't cow seed.
It is. You are so right.
We'll have to sing that song at some stage, won't we?
Goodness, we'll have to. That's
That
a
Boots
very.
Cow
You
song.
have to remind us, Otis, to learn that song next week. We'll sing it.
Now what's really neat about this, I'll bring it up close. Can you see that up close? Go down there.
Come on, I'd go right up and
Right
check
up.
the boys and girls, because some of them have got little bits of orange on the
And
outside.
you can see the, actually in the centre of the flower, I don't know if you can see that, can you? In the centre you can see the pistil in the centre, and then you can see the little stamens all around it. And on the stamen you can see the little bit of pollen on top, which is really, really cool. And if you look underneath, you can see the sepals, you can see the leaves and the stem. You see everything with this little flower. And you know, I'll show you, I've got my friend Mr. B here, Mr. B or Mrs. B, usually Mrs. B because the girls are the ones that go to the flowers, you know. We'll learn more about that later, won't we? And Mrs. B comes along and she rubs up against the stamen and the pistil, like this, and she collects it on her body. She actually flies back to the hive with it, but when she does that, the little seeds start forming in the bottom by the sepals.
Because she knocks the pollen onto the
pistil, that's right. And then the seeds are formed in the bottom there. And then the bee goes along and it goes on another flower and another flower and another flower.
And
That's
no,
why we
do you
need
know,
lots of
Marianne,
bees, don't we?
sometimes the little bee takes the pollen from that flower way over to the field over that one, or to your lovely garden brook, and then travels from your garden brook to Evie's garden
So all the
and
flowers,
visits all the flowers.
that's what we call pollination, isn't it?
And my God.
Going from
And
flower
to
to flower.
Otis's garden, not
Yep.
to Lynda's garden, because there's not many flowers.
No, you won't find many
Lots
in
of
mine either.
daisies.
I've got lots of weeds.
But definitely yours, Evie's.
Absolutely, Evie's garden. Absolutely. So that's what happens there. And then the bee flies back to the hive, and that's another story, isn't it, Lynda?
That's so exciting.
But that's really cool.
Yay.
I've got this little picture too, and this shows a bee on top of a flower there.
I might have to go right
I might
up
have
close.
to come right up close with my little bee. Can you see that? Yep, there's a bee, and it's on the flower, and it's knocking the pollen from the stamens into the pistil there, which is really cool. Okay.
Now you boys and girls will be able to come up really close later and have a look
Have
at
a
the
little
little
close look at
the
that.
pistils and the stamens on there. That would be really lovely.
Cool.
Okay, now just what Marianne was showing you when she was showing you the beautiful little Pootakara, the dwarf,
The mini.
the mini one. I went out to the garden outside our preschool, and I want to show you these. Boys and girls, have a look at that. That's the little flower all tucked up, and I'll show you boys and girls at home. That's the little flower all tucked up in its
Sepal. That's it. Well
That's
done,
sepals.
Lynda.
Oh,
Sepals.
I love the shapes you're making. Can you make that shape at home? So that's the little sepal, and then slowly the beautiful petals start to emerge, and look at that. These are all twisted. So when they were inside here, those little petals must have been screwed round and round and round and round like that. And then they slowly, look, you can see the sepals are opening up. Look, boys and girls.
And there's a lovely word, Lynda. It's called unfurl.
Oh, I love
And
that word.
That's
I
what
love
the
it.
petals will do.
So
Isn't
that
that
unfurling, isn't it beautiful? Goodness, I love that word,
yeah, it's a
Marianne.
neat word, isn't it?
And then they unfurl until they look like this. Look, isn't that magnificent? Look.
And look, you can see this, the pistil and the stamen.
Right, have a look, my lovelies. You can see the pistil in the middle, the big tall bit coming out, and then you can actually see the stamen. And if you're very clever, you can see the little bits of pollen on the
Isn't that
outside.
amazing?
So I hope that little bee visits this one.
There it goes.
And then the seeds appear. Now, when the seeds appear, the beautiful, twisted, beautiful petals that have emerged and unfurled start to look really rotten.
Oh dear.
And they go all shrivelly, and then they drop onto the ground. Plop onto the ground. There it is there. And then they shrivel up until there's almost no petals, but right down inside, down here, the little seeds are hidden in there, right down low. It's really hard to see at the moment, but they're right down in this little part down, this little bit down here. And then these will all fall off into the ground, disappear, and this bit will be left with the little seeds in, and those little seeds will appear. See if we can see right inside. They're right in there, right in the middle there, right in there. And they will fall to the ground, and some beautiful new hibiscus plants will start to grow.
It's amazing.
Which is
isn't it?
really, it's just
incredible.
miraculous.
Lovely.
Okay, so I was wondering, Marianne, perhaps we could sing our song
It's one
about
of my favourite songs.
because this is how the little seeds will
This
drop.
is Hi Ho the Dairy-O.
Yes, it is.
I love that song.
We were talking about
Can I
why they
hold
say hi ho the dairy-o, but we're not quite sure. But we do know why the other words are there.
We think
so
it's
that's
Dairy
cool.
Farm.
Yes.
We think.
Okay. The farmer plants the seeds. The farmer plants the seeds. Hi ho the dairy-o. The farmer plants the seeds. What do we need? Oh, I love Otis, what you're doing.
Comes out.
Yes, sunshine. Thank you, Brooke. The sun comes out to shine. The sun comes out to shine. Hi ho the dairy-o. The sun comes out to shine. What else do we need? We need that sun.
The rain.
Definitely. Let's see it.
Here it comes.
Flowing down beautifully. The rain begins to fall. The rain begins to fall. Hi ho the dairy-o. The rain begins to fall. And then we're not growing plants, we're actually growing little flowers. So the plants begin
To grow.
So let's see your little plants starting to unfurl. You could actually twist them like that, like Marianne taught us. The buds all open up. The buds, oh no, it's the buds begin to grow.
Well, it was.
Oh, we better do that. Better
Okay.
do that because we need to, they aren't opening up, they're just unfurling
Plants are
inside.
beginning to grow.
The plants begin to grow. The plants begin to grow. Hi ho the dairy-o. The plants begin to grow. Now.
Yeah, the buds are going to open up.
Yeah, got
There's
the
my
buds.
little bud.
Yes,
My
and
little bud.
there's the little bud there, and it's starting to grow. Look, and it will grow.
Can you see the sepals?
Okay. And those are all sepals, keeping
It's
the little bud
amazing, isn't it?
precious till
There's
it's
our bud.
ready. Okay, so the buds all open up, okay? The buds all open up, the buds all open up. Hi ho the dairy-o, the buds all open up. And this is my best favourite verse. The flowers. Yeah.
You are so clever.
Yeah, you are so clever. The flowers smile at me. The flowers smile at me. Hi ho the dairy-o. The flowers smile at me. And sometimes, if the farmer is growing special flowers, he will pick them and put them in a beautiful box or cellophane and take them to the florist. Or sometimes we, like Evie's mummy and daddy do, grow them and we just admire and look at them, don't we?
Or we can pick them and take them inside
Well,
if our
yes.
mummies and daddies say it's
But we
okay.
must ask before we pick a flower.
Yeah.
Oh, there is one little flower that you are allowed to pick any time at all. What do you think that is?
It's really tiny and they're white. They've got a little yellow centre, haven't they?
And they grow in the grass.
Especially at preschool.
What are those?
Little.
My pink flowers are not turning in any shows like you guys.
I think they will. It just
They
takes
will.
time.
You've got to have patience with flowers, I tell you. You've got to wait. But who can tell me the little tiny flowers that are growing
They're
outside
cool.
on our lawn?
What are they
What
called?
are they, Brooke?
Daisies.
Yes, what are they, Otis?
Pegasus.
Oh, yes.
Little daisies.
Yeah.
Right.
The ones Lynda was talking about were not those exotic flowers, which have got very big names, a lot of those
Oh,
exotic
some of them
flowers.
have.
But they're just little daisies, and you can pick them any time, and you can even make a daisy chain.
Actually, talking of really nice flowers, have you ever seen a bird of paradise flower?
Yes, I
They
have.
are amazing. I've got one in my garden, so I'm loath to pick it, but
Oh.
on driving to work, I did see a garden absolutely full of them. And then
Brooke, wonder why they call it a bird of paradise. What do you think it might look like, that flower?
Yeah, it does. It is. I'll take a photo of it. Maybe I'll pick it.
Have you seen a bird of paradise in you?
Amazing. Yeah.
How special. I've got a bird of paradise plant that needs planting. That's as close as I've got.
I've got the flower and it's absolutely beautiful. I don't want to pick it. But, like I said, driving to work, I saw a garden that was just full of them in Manly. And I was like, oh, I'd like to go and say, could I have a few of your flowers? Better
Well,
not.
sometimes people like to
Yeah.
give away their
They've
flowers.
got so
don't they?
many. It's beautiful. So,
Right. Well,
Yeah.
boys and girls, next week we're going to be talking about some more interesting things to do with flowers. We're going to be looking at our experiments with the flowers in
See
the
how they're
dye
going.
to see what happens.
Yep.
And that's really going to be really exciting. And I know there's people at home like Quinn that have been doing those experiments, and we'd love to see some pictures.
we'd love to see what happens.
Yes, absolutely.
And we can show you what happened to ours.
Yes, that would be really exciting.
That sounds cool.
So we might sing one song to finish. Now, what's the song that we haven't sung for a long time that you guys would like us to sing?
We could always sing Mary.
Mary, Mary, shall we sing that?
Yes.
That would be lovely. Okay. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? What's in her garden? With silver bells and cockle shells and little maids all in a row. It's funny because Lynda always says little maids and you
And I say pretty maids.
So songs are fun. You can make up voice.
Yes, we always
whatever
change
you
the
want.
words, don't we, Lynda?
Absolutely. And there are lots of daffodils in gardens at the moment, and those sometimes people think that Mary has beautiful daffodils because the little daffodils look as though they're wearing a dress. But there's lots of beautiful flowers in our gardens. It's such a beautiful time of the year because it is sunny and it is raining.
And what time of the year is it? Is it summer, autumn, winter, or
Spring.
it's spring?
Springtime.
Springtime's the best time of the year.
Until we see you again, have a most wonderful weekend. Lots of love from Philo, who's here, and Paris, who's here, and Kirsty, and Marianne, and
Happy day. See you next week.
love you
Bye.
guys.